Welcome to Check It Out with Jessica Lee. I have the CEO of Servion Global Solutions with me, Laurent Philonenko. How are you, Laurent?
Good, Jessica. Thanks for having me.
I am looking at how your career has really spanned many enterprises where you've led the CEO position, and you just have a wealth of experience in the whole contact center. But now you're at Servion. Tell us about Servion.
Well, thank you. Well, Servion, it's a very interesting company which is fairly unique in the space. It's a company which is extremely proficient in contact center technologies and knows how to solve difficult customer implementations, has a wealth of know-how in large contact centers which are deployed with some of the largest corporations, big brand names that you would recognize immediately. So we have about 600 customers in the space, and we have about 1,000 people doing contact centers every single day.
So this space you're in is called what? Real-time communication and analytics?
So, we like to call ourselves a customer experience management company, and it has several components. So you have an infrastructure component, which is contact centers, but increasingly, what matters is the intelligence you bring to the operation. So it's all about analytics, understanding the customer journey, understanding what people want and how you serve them. And it's fascinating today to see all the new capabilities that we can bring to customers. Whether it is artificial intelligence now making its way into contact centers and many other things. Whether it is RPA, robotics, process automation, but still, there is a need for tried and true deployment of technologies which help customers and enterprises communicate better.
Your company does a lot of the system integration. So you're taking some of the best of breed technology from various vendors, putting them together and make it work. But you also provide the whole consultancy and the managed service of the technology, right?
Yes, we do. It's increasingly important to be able to serve customers over the long term. And managed services are a great way of doing that. And you have a stake in the game. You need to perform, you need to deliver, and you are paid on essentially on the results. Because if you don't do a good job, then your subscription is not going to be renewed. So there is a lot of incentives these days to consider managed services models, both for customers and for ourselves. For customers, they want to really focus more on what their business is,
right,
as opposed to the technology layers, and we are happy to do that for them.
That's your expertise.
That is our expertise. And to your point about consulting, it's very important for us to be able to have a dialogue on understanding what do they want to achieve, how can we help them, which are the right technology solutions that they should implement, and help them navigate those transitions. How do I move to cloud? How do I start embedding artificial intelligence? All those things that we need to work on with them.
I think there's a lot of silos in different departments and their function. So maybe you can share with us how you're able to help break down the silos and provide greater value.
Yeah, silos traditionally have existed because our customers' organizations are segmented. And what happens is data don't always circulate or are aggregated as they could be or should be, and so we help them with that. So this is why increasingly a lot of the work we do has to do with analytics. How do you gather data in the same place to make sense of what's going on between the enterprise and customers?
So, for example, a company that has marketing campaigns going on, and then they have customer support teams making phone calls. How do you help those two?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and it's historically this has been two different worlds. And so what we've done, and we just entered into a partnership with a company named Servion on that front, is take the world of marketing automation, take the world of customer service, typically contact centers, and put them together. And what you can do now, you can have a complete end-to-end view of the customer. So if I am calling you because I have an issue with a product I bought, you will know that you sent me a mailer the day before and how I responded or not. So you can, based on a better understanding of the customer, take better action because you have more intelligence, you can be more relevant, and you can understand better simply what to do and how to process and understand me better. So this is very fertile ground for a lot of productivity for our customers.
Yes.
And there is going to be a lot of innovation in the space. But it is well established that upselling is more economical than finding a new customer.
Yes.
So if you can put both together, you really have a very, very compelling proposition.
Yeah, because when you were saying that marketing and customer support, I'm thinking, oh, that's the customer success function now. The people who are managing existing clients have to try to upsell and cross-sell, and often they use the drip marketing as tech touch, they call it. So that is a marketing function, right? Promoting new services or solutions to then cross-sell and upsell, or increasing that value with the client so they will renew the contract every month.
Yeah, and to your point about, I don't know if we should call that silos or not, but traditionally contact centers have been driven from the CIOs and telecom organizations. Digital marketing has very often be driven from marketing executives, and now if you put those two teams together, you can really do very interesting things. So it's again what we are looking at from an integration point of view. It's an example of things we're doing. It's not the only one, of course.
Right. And you specialize in the phone calls and the text messaging, the chat.
So in terms of what we do, so systems integrations, we take solutions from several vendors, including our own IP, put that together for the customer and deliver what they want. In terms of our own intellectual property, which exists under the Acheon brand, what we do is campaign management and analytics. Yes, we are very, very strong on voice and text. We can do email as well, but on email we don't have the sophistication of the true marketing automation companies, which is why we partner with somebody like Intelligent.
Right.
We are much stronger than they are on voice. They are stronger than we are on email, for example. At some simple level.
Right.
So
good partnership.
That is a good partnership.
Sense. Yeah. The customers get more value out of that. Okay. I'm impressed with your career history because your career journey is you came from Paris to America, and you've been at some of the very big companies, like you were the COO and CEO of Genesis, and you were at Cisco, and you were at Avaya. So tell us a little bit how the whole industry has evolved and where you see it's going.
Yeah, I was fortunate to have the opportunity to have very interesting roles in different contexts, and the thing is, we live in a world of constant change in technology, so you have to adapt. Not only your company but yourself. So in my case, it was having different roles from oscillating between the business side and the technology side of things. By training, I'm a hard science guy, so I'm interested into the technology and what it can do and understanding how to apply it. But fundamentally, the industry is changing from more than one perspective. First of all, we are seeing cloud disrupting the business and delivery models. That is number one. That is a trend. It's not going to go away, and it has some very interesting possibilities. So helping customers understand what does that mean to be on-premise or in the cloud or both, and what is their roadmap, it's very important. Second, we are seeing changes in how people uh, transact. No, I was reading something I wrote in 2001 about what the future would be in 2020 for contact centers.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you in 2001, nobody knew that the iPhone would exist and what the impact would be on mobility.
Right.
But the impact of those devices on our experience has been absolutely dramatic in a very positive way because you can do so much more as a consumer.
Yes, yes.
And that entails a lot of changes in contact centers.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays it's becoming increasingly important to add messaging to your channels. Channels tended to be voice and then email and then text, which is a form of messaging. And now you have Apple Business Chat and you have WhatsApp. And in China, WeChat is the predominant channel for everything.
Right.
That's how people talk, but that's how people pay. That's how people do customer service. So you have all those changes which are happening, and then you have areas like, broadly speaking, artificial intelligence, where you're seeing a lot of changes as well. So for a long time, the way to access contact center has been through the IVR. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and it serves a purpose which is called deflection. And it does that really well. If you look at banks or a lot of other companies, have been able to automate a lot of transactions and hence
And routing.
yeah, exactly. And then be more productive and don't use agents, people for tasks which are automatable.
Yeah.
So they've done that. Now, what you are seeing with a lot of devices like Alexa or Google Home and
Yes.
Siri
Yes.
is you use voice as a channel to get a lot of answers very quickly.
Right.
And so that is a new paradigm, which is so very important.
That's the new user interface
Yeah,
now, because I use
exactly.
it at home too.
Yeah.
So it's like Alexa, tell me the news,
Yes.
the news briefing, or what's the weather, and
Yeah.
play music and all that. Yes,
And-
very convenient.
Or buy something.
Yes.
Yeah, which is kind of dangerous because it's becoming too easy. So you have all those changes, and for our customers, they have so many options. So it's important to have a company which can help them not only drive those changes, but make sure that we can integrate the technology roadmap for them.
Yes. What about virtual reality? What do you think is happening there? Is that really going to be a big deal?
Yes, it will depend on the industry, obviously. What is interesting, if I don't know if you watch esports.
No. Esport. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So esports is becoming bigger in terms of audiences than what you would call real sports.
Right.
So it's companies in the space. They fill stadiums with people watching other people gaming.
Yes.
You have Twitch TV and you have all those things.
Right.
So virtual reality is having an impact already. It's been obviously a lot in gaming. I think we are going to see a lot of virtual travel. You have very compelling virtual reality visits of museums and things like that. And you could even say it's a better experience than being in a very crowded venue when you try to see something and you have all those people around you. You cannot really. So there are some very interesting applications of virtual reality. Maybe a little bit less ambitious. Augmented reality is something which is in practice today. So, and specifically, again, in contact centers, we are seeing companies who provide augmented reality for customer service, which is a very interesting concept. It's kind of okay. Show me what the problem is if it's a physical device, and with augmented reality, I can you have solutions which can show the customer put this cable here or push this button there. So it's very very promising. So
Yes.
it's early days. It's early days, but it's going to be very use case dependent.
Yeah, I can see the appeal of that because a lot of times when you're given instructions, having
Yes.
that visual
Exactly.
Simulated reality
Exactly.
is actually a lot more helpful,
Yeah.
right, than
Yeah.
just telling over text or
Exactly.
phone
No, it's
voice.
exactly.
Yeah. That's exciting. I think that's
It
a
is.
big one.
It is. So we are going to see more and more of those technologies, and some will work, some will not. A few years back, everybody was talking about avatars.
Yes.
That didn't really take off, and not that I know. Because either you talk to a real person or you talk to a machine, but the machine which looks like a real person didn't cut it. Maybe it wasn't good enough. Maybe with new advances in speech and higher definition video and faster simulation, maybe we'll get there. But so far, it's not been a great use case.
All right. Well, excellent. Well, it's been a very interesting conversation, Laurent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here and sharing your thoughts, your perspective. And we look forward to hearing a lot more success from you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Let's Take It Up with Jessica Lee.